Nor, Nor, bring everyone in. Tell everyone to come in. MH is here. Come on, girls. Where's everyone? Hey, Sherry. Rashida. Where are all my other lovelies? Where's Cam J? Where's Raspberry? Where's Constant? Where's Mary? There's Sherry. Constant, yes. Where's Cam J? Did Mary get in here? Sherry's here. Constant in the house. I love seeing you guys. You guys make me happy. Could someone go get Cam J? Where is Cam J? Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get going. Who was okay? Okay, Cam J's finally here. We can start. Cam J, where were you? Cam J, Cam J went to eat. I bet you. Cam J, where did you go? Yes, I love this group. Okay, so who was I arguing with? Well, not arguing with, but debating that someone said that Rick was sad. Was it you, Nor? Nor and I always disagree. And then Nor and Rashida are always disagreeing. So someone said Rick is sad because he knows that he's you know, he knows that Michonne is sad. Not Rick is sad, but Rick knows that Michonne is sad or something. Always, Nor, we're always. And but I was saying it's not that he knows that she's upset with a situation. Of course, he knows she's upset with the situation. He's spying on her because he knows she's taking a gun. He sees what she's doing. She thinks that she's sneaking out and she's getting stuff done. No, Rick is watching her and Rick is worried. Rick is worried because he's Hi, MH. Where? Do you live here in LA, MH? So Rick has already accepted defeat. So this is what it is. The others have not accepted defeat. Maggie has not accepted defeat. Carl has not accepted defeat. Michonne has not accepted defeat. Rosita has not. So, but their mindset is different. Oh my gosh, MH, we have to get together. So their mindset are different. So yes, Rick is Cam J said Rick is demoralized and defeated. He's concerned that Michonne may do something on her own. Exactly. Captain just said everything that I was trying to say. So Rick is trying to Rick has accepted this is his reality. He's defeated, he's demoralized, he's like, we have to accept this. If we don't accept this, more are gonna die. And what Rick is thinking is that he's gonna lose them. He's gonna lose Carl, and he cannot fathom that. And he's gonna lose Michonne, and he cannot fathom that. And he knows that, what's his name? He knows Negan is serious. He knows Negan is going to do it. And because he brought him to the brink of doing it, of Rick maiming his own child. So Rick knows, and Rick doesn't want to go through that again. He doesn't want to see what happened to Abraham and Glenn happen to any one of them. But on top of that, yes, he doesn't want it to happen to anyone. He's not going to lose anyone. But the fear that is driving Rick more than anything else is that it could happen to Carl and Michonne. Remember, he came very close to losing Carl. And it scares the heebie-jeebies out of him. As Rick told Michonne in The Ones Who Lives, he cannot lose her. And that applies to Carl. What he told Herschel at the prison, he cannot lose Carl. And Herschel told him, yes, you can. Was it Herschel? Do you guys remember that episode? He said, yes, you can. And Herschel was like, no. Rick is like, no, I cannot. And Herschel said, you're going to come to a point where you're going to be strong enough to handle whatever this world is going to bring to you. And Rick was trying to tell Herschel, no, I don't remember if it's Herschel, but whoever was telling him, he was like, no, I don't think I'll ever get to that point. Because Herschel was trying to tell him, you know, even if you lose, you're not lost. And that was tested. Where Rick is right now, seeing Abraham and Glenn go, he's as Cam J said, completely demoralized. I truly believe within himself he doesn't think he can do it. And where he is now, I agree with him. But as we do know, he will lose Carl. And he survived it. So Herschel was right, but I think the reason he survived it was because he had Michonne. That's it. I think if he didn't have Michonne, I don't think he would survive it. And also Michonne being there for Rick helped him survive. He had something to live for. Yes, he had Judith, and he had grown to love Judith even more. Remember when Herschel was telling him Judith was new to his life? So he had Judith to live for, but he had a love like he'd never known before. And a love that helped bear his burden. And so I think, and I think that helped him. So if Michonne, he didn't have Michonne, I don't know if he would have survived Carl's death. And on top of that, what else is it I wanted to say? It came to my... There was something else, that an addendum to that I was going to say, but I don't remember. So anyway, I'll move on. Let me see what you guys said, and then we'll move on. Raspberry says, that's what I love about Rick. He doesn't let his ego get in the way of protecting his family. He'd rather be humiliated and broken than his family hurt. Isn't it? That's a man. Raspberry, that's a man. That's love. Nothing interferes with the well-being of the person he loves. If your ego and your self-interest interferes with the well-being, like if you put it above the well-being of who you love, you don't love them. They're just useful to you. You like having them around because of what they may do for you, or how they make you feel, but it's about you. It's egocentric. When you put the person ahead of how you feel, that's love. So Rick's humiliation, actually, Rick submitting to Negan, and again he's submitting to Negan because he cannot bear to lose anyone else. Nick's submission to Negan actually proves him the better man, not just the better man, but that it proves that Rick's love is genuine. Rick's love is not a self-interest. It's not one born of self-interest. And a lot of people use the word love. I love you, or that person loves the person. They don't understand what love is. Love is sacrificial. Love doesn't put self ahead of the person that you love. So that's Rick. So you're right, Raspberry. And Sherry said, Rick did say this is our life now, so it makes sense. Yes. Nora said, because you're so smart and deep thinking person, and I'm just a hopeless romantic and emotional wreck. That's why we disagree. And I love it, Nora. I love your romanticism. I love it. Cam J says the characters displayed it all in just the opening 2 minutes. Damn good acting. Yes, they did. Yes. Herschel told Rick that in the prison. Yes. So I was right, Rashida. Constance said, yeah, it was Herschel. He was saying that he will never be too far gone. Okay, that was it. Yes. So he'll never lose himself. But he could. He could be too far gone. And Michonne is, because that was what he was living for. He was living to keep Carl alive, and his purpose for living was gone. And Michonne, his purpose for living was wrapped up in Carl. And the fact that Carl didn't survive, he didn't protect Carl. And we know he has some issues with that. Remember that monkey on his back, which was caused that storyline, the Jesse storyline. But you know that his guilt is a really big thing, especially with Lori and Shane, about keeping Carl safe, alive. So his purpose for living was wrapped up in that. As he said, he told Shane, I'll stay alive long enough so that they can keep living, that they will stay alive. So that purpose was taken away, but along the way of fulfilling that purpose of keeping Carl alive, he fell in love. He fell in the love that Rick and Michonne have, the love that Rick have for Michonne is not an occurrence that happens all the time. It's very rare. It's because it's the deepest, truest, one of the truest love. It's the love of a lifetime. It's the love of his life. So he found that. So there was another purpose for living. So when what he was mostly wrapped up in, and he had tasked himself with that purpose for keeping Carl alive, when that died, that ended, He didn't end because he had a love, another purpose for living. He had Judith, but there was a love that was behind him, a love that was propelling him, a love that even in the deepest sorrow, the deepest loss, I don't think Rick could imagine being without her. He couldn't imagine losing her. So he knew what, because he knew she loved him too. He knew that he couldn't take that love away from her because he couldn't take, he could not imagine her without him, and he cannot imagine himself. He can put himself in Michonne's place. So he couldn't do that to her because that's how deep their love is. Rick had the purpose to help Judith, but I think what kept him tethered is his love for Michonne. So Raspberry said it was Herschel saying to Rick that even if Rick would have lost the prison, his son Judith, he wouldn't have been too far gone, like the lady who killed herself in front of Rick in season 401. Yeah, if he had lost the prison, Herschel, the prison, Carl, and Judith, he would be too far gone. He wouldn't have anything to hold on to. Yes, he had fallen for Michonne, but they weren't in a relationship, so there was not that reciprocation yet, and he would not have had that anchor. He would not have known that love that he and Michonne have. Falling for her is different than being in a reciprocal relationship where you're safe in that love. And he didn't have that yet with Michonne. So I think I disagree with Herschel. He would have been too far gone if he lost Carl, Judith, and Herschel and the prison. He would have been too far gone. He would have given up. But the reason he didn't give up when he lost the unimaginable happened, losing Carl, he had Michonne and he had Judith. It was the episode maybe 4-1. I don't remember, MH. I think it's the episode where he was telling Herschel about the lady that he met in the woods, the one that was too far gone, where she was trying to take Rick to go feed her husband's head, her Walker husband's head. That was so weird. Yes, so Raspberry says it's 4-1. Sherry says you're correct. Michonne is Rick's North Star. She is. She is everything for him. And what Rick says, if what he said to her and the ones who live, if he lost her, if he knows she's gone, he wouldn't survive it. And I believe him, because he wouldn't have Carl to live for. And if Carl passing, if Michonne wasn't there, he wouldn't survive it. It's different. He loves Judith to the moon and back, to the sun and back, but his anchors are, I think his true anchors was Carl and now Michonne. So either one, if both went, it would be over for Rick. If one went, if Michonne went, if he had Carl, he would survive, because he would just propel himself into just living to help Carl survive. If Carl passed and Michonne is there, he could go on because he had his love for her is so deep. Um, but if both left, it would be over for Rick. MH says Rick reminds me so much of my ex-husband. Really, MH? In what way? In what way? If Rick reminds you of, is it in the physicality or or his character? Because if it's his personality and character, why is he your ex? If it's just how he looks, then yeah, looks are, looks doesn't matter if the character and the personality doesn't, match. If there's the character, if the character isn't good, the person could be the most gorgeous person walking the earth. It doesn't matter. Throw him in the bin. Season 4, episode 1. Yes, Rashida. I'm talking about Shane. I don't know what you mean, Raspberry. Sherry says, come on now. That's why I enjoy this show and this group, because we talk about the deeper things. Yep. Raspberry said Rick would have been feral without Michonne. She softened his edges and made him believe in more. He wouldn't be just feral. He would have given up. We saw it. She wasn't gone. She wasn't dead, and he had given up because he couldn't be with her. He had died to a life. He'd given himself over to the military. He'd died internally, in a sense that, died in a sense of living with hope, living for something more than, for himself. He had given up living life for himself because he couldn't get to Michonne. That's why he told her if he knew she passed, because even living apart from her, he think, okay, at least I'll do something for her and Judith. I have a purpose now, even though I'm no longer gonna live for myself. I'm not gonna ever be happy again. He had a purpose, but that's thinking she was alive. But if he knew she was not alive, he told her, he said he couldn't do it anymore. He couldn't. He would have given up. So it would be beyond feral. He would have given up. We saw him chop his arm off. We saw him even attempt the unimaginable. He would do it if he knew she was dead. I think the only reason he didn't do it is because there was some possibility that she was out there. And that's how much Rick loves Michonne. The possibility that she's out there, there's hope for that maybe he would see her again. He loves her so much. That's why losing Carl, he didn't completely give up, because Michonne was there. He loves Michonne so much that, just having her in his life is everything. So people don't understand how deep Rick's love for Michonne is. People just do not get it. The Walking Dead didn't translate it enough, but in the fact that we saw what Rick lived for in the terms of Carl and how he survived Carl's death, it tells you everything. The reason he did is because of Michonne, that love. And then they explained it more in The Ones Who Live. They verbally explained it, and they've explained it with what we saw him doing. Rick was going to kill himself. He was going to give up. The only thing that made him not give up was the possibility that Michonne was alive. Because Michonne is alive, there's a possibility that he can be with her again. the possibilities were, it was diminishing, it was dying, that possibility, because his hope in that happening was dying. But just because he there was no certainty that she was dead, the chance to be with her again was everything for Rick. That's why he couldn't do it. As he said in the letter, I couldn't do it. It's because there's a possibility she's there alive. But if he told her, if he knew that she was dead, it would be over. Rick would end it. Rick would end it. He said he couldn't survive that. So that's how much Rick loves. The type of love Rick has for Michonne is what some of the Lori fans wish. They like to fantasize that he had for Lori. He loved Lori, but not in that way. He's never loved anyone in that way. So, Nor said he didn't fall in love. He tripped and dropped like a F heavy rock on his face and had concussion for life type of love. I've never heard it described that way. Nor. MH, they balance each other out so well. She's able to trust and feel safe around Rick when she's usually cautious, and Rick can believe in humanity around her while still being protective. Rick, actually, Raspberry, he doesn't believe in humanity because Michonne is around. Rick, when Michonne is around, Rick is wrapped up in Michonne. Michonne is the one who pushes for him to care about anything else outside of her. Oh my gosh. What Lori wanted from Rick, like to be the center of his life and the center of attention, is what Rick does for Michonne. What Lori kept fighting with Rick about, because Rick was concerned with everything else, and Lori wanted him to be only concerned with her. With Michonne, Rick is concerned with Michonne. He could care less about a lot of other things. Yes, I can agree with that, Raspberry. They're the best duo on TV. Yeah, ever. Yes, Raspberry said Rick loves Judith, but Michonne is a required component in his life to live. Yes, yes. Diane, where have you been? Diane is here. Diane says, I think it was episode 3 and Herschel was bandaging his hand after the fight with Tyrese. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not episode 1, guys. Diane said it's episode 3. Diane is our archiver. Diane always gets the episode right. Cam J says Rick never had someone who believed in him and accepted him without judgment like Michonne. She's his anchor. Yes, Cam J. Yes. MA says in almost always he's MA, your ex-husband. So MA said he's white, he's protective and deeply loves his family, but he was too controlling. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, MH. Raspberry says, I agree. Rick was always the supporter that had no support. He finally found an equal. He finally found love. You know, everyone's love was selfish, which contradicts the word. You know, even Shane, and you know, they're like, oh, he's a brother love. Even Daryl, it's selfish. It serves its purpose until it doesn't serve their purpose. Their love for him serves the purpose. Their love for him is there if it serves their purpose. But if it doesn't serve their purpose, that love isn't very forthcoming. With Michonne, she loves him. That's it. Right? It's she'll sacrifice for him. She will compromise for him. Look how the episode started. She is livid. She's furious. She doesn't agree with Rick, because Rick tells them, you know, we got to accept this. And she is going counter to him. But she's not confronting him in his face and trying to browbeat him. She just thinks she's going to try to handle it on her own. So she disagrees with him, but she's not she's not trying to diminish him. She's not she's trying to compromise in her own way. She'll be with him, but she's fighting herself. And so she's trying to find a way to do it where she doesn't burden him by openly disagreeing with him. So it's not like what Maggie and Daryl did, like outright betraying him. She would never do that because she loves him. That's what love is. You'll compromise, you'll sacrifice. Because she obviously doesn't feel the same way he does. But she's not doing it. She's not doing it in a way to betray him. She's just trying to find a way, her own way to do it. But she doesn't want to burden him about it. She doesn't want to hurt him or burden him. So that's why she's sneaking to do it. Practicing to kill him, to kill Negan. Without getting into Rick's face. It's like, you better do this, or you're not this and you're not that, and or whatever. She loves him. And it's not a love of convenience. I can't live without you. Without you, I die. Yeah, those were Rick's words, and he meant it. And we saw that he meant it because the series showed us he meant it. The series showed us him dying without her. And the only thing that kept him at least not leaving our terrestrial plane is that just the possibility of her being out there. The possibility of seeing her again. That was enough to keep him tethered to life. So Raspberry said, Rick is such a lover boy. He was writing rom-coms in his dreams, thinking of Michonne at the CRM. I like to see them. Rick, as I told you, whenever Rick dreams, or when Rick dreamt, it was about Michonne. I'm telling you guys, the love that Rick has for Michonne is like otherworldly. That type of love is rare in this world. Rick loves Michonne so much. It's just like, the only way I can explain it, how divine love is pure? It's, the definition of love, divine love, God's love for us. some of the ways that Rick loves Michonne and Michonne loves Rick, how God defines love, that's how they love each other. And why I said it's rare is because one of the issues with us as human beings is we're selfish. We're selfish beings. We were born that way. You know, even a baby, the baby is self-centered. We're just, that's just our nature. And so it's our nature to be, even in what we call love, to be selfish. With Rick and Michonne, they aren't. It's they love each other so much they they're willing to give up their self-interest. And that's what love is. Love is kind, it's compassionate, it's patient, it's selfless. It's not selfish, it's forgiving. It puts the others first. That's the definition. And when we talk about, when we watch movies or TV shows or people in our lives or our relationships with, you know, our significant other, even parental, or our love for our children, or our romantic love interests, our romantic love relationships, if you set your, what you do in your life, not what you say, but what you do, and the definition, divine definition of love, we fall short. I know I do. We fall so short. So, but with Rick and Michonne, I think why I love them so much is that I see evidence of the true definition of love in how they love each other. And it's rare for a romantic relationship. It's you'll find it in the other instances that you'll find it um more than any other type of horizontal relationship is parent to child. So the parent to child, the definition, you find a lot that how the parent loves the child, it fits that definition of that pure divine love. But in relationship, friends, even kids to parent, siblings, and romantic, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, it's very rare to find that true depth, that the relationship matches the definition of love. It's very rare. And I gravitate towards Rick and Michonne because I see the evidence of real love. You know, they called Lori and, you know, see Lori and Rick love. Even Rick's love towards Lori is not that, doesn't meet that definition. But with Rick and Michonne, yeah. With Michonne and Rick, yeah. Sherry said yes. Michonne and Rick's love was beyond words. Raspberry said he even tried to kill himself by asking Okafor to shoot him after their fight, but Okafor refused. Yes, I forgot about that, Raspberry. Cam J said, it is crazy because I'm not a romantic, and the Rick and Michonne love slapped me in the face. It's because, Cam J, all of us, we recognize love. And all of us want love, the true definition of love. And I'm not, when I say we want love, I'm not even talking romantic love. We want love. We recognize it and we want it because that's how our relationships are supposed to be with each other. That's what God commands for all of us, because that's the love he has for us, and that he created us for that love relationship with him. But we're like, whatever. And that's the issue in our world. We reject God, so we now reject each other, because that we were created for that relationship with God. So we reject God, so we're rejecting each other now. And but because he created us for that, we recognize it and we want it, but we don't want it with him. And we're fighting to, we want it with each other, but we're not giving it to each other, because it cannot happen without that relationship with him. So that's why you recognize it if you're not a romantic. And it's what we try to find in other things. We try to find that that acceptance, that love, that selfless, where someone loves you for who you are, that just loves you and truly loves you. And when we don't have it in that parental bond, it can destroy you. When you don't have it, when you think you have it in that romantic relationship bond, and they betray that, it almost destroys you. Why heartbreak can kill you. Heartbreak can kill you. So it's you recognize it, Cam J, not because of any romanticism. It's because it's something we all recognize and want. And all search for it in different ways. Some people, get very materialistic or get obsessed with their career. And then when they get everything they want or their career, they feel empty, because that's not where you can find it. It's relational. But in relationships, we're not getting it and we're not giving it. So to see it in that form, in a romantic relationship with Rick and Michonne, we were just like, wow. And we crave it. We love it. We are obsessed with it. So I'm starting it over. But I'm not going to show it because I'm so tired of YouTube. She's in the bed. She's upset, deep. So, poor thing. She's fighting, but she doesn't want to burden him, because she knows he has that leadership burden on his shoulder. So she's trying to find a way to end this terrible situation that they're in without burdening Rick some more. So she's sneaking and he's watching, and he's like, girl, if you get yourself killed, I'll kill you first. but if I kill you first, I'm going with you. Rashida said, yes, that's the only rom-com I'd watch. I would love to see Andy and Denai do something outside of The Walking Dead. I love Rick and Michonne, but I think the actors want to move on. But if they give us more The Ones Who Live, I'll take it. But I would love to see them do another live in other characters, because they have such great chemistry, and it would be interesting to see what dynamic they have. Suppose suppose one of them are the villain, like Rick is the villain or Michonne is the villain, and it's not a romantic. I would watch it. I love them. I love their acting. So, but I want to see them in something else together, Raspberry said they'd smash the box office if Andy and Dana had a rom-com together. Oh, yes, they would. They would, yeah. That would be good. The movie that I wrote, that I said is a great love story, but it's not just a romantic love story. two great romantic love stories in it, but it's also a family love story. But at one time I thought, I was like, I wonder if Rick could play, not Rick. I wonder if Auntie could play uh the love interest to the character I wanted Michonne to play. They could have. They could have, but time has passed. It's a few years ago they could have pulled it off, but not anymore. So maybe I'll write something for them. Oh, what if in our Patreon group we try to, come up with a story for them? We wrote our own rom-com for them. That would be fun. Sherry said Laurie got nothing on Michonne. No, no, no. Raspberry said, yeah, his love for Laurie at the end was out of obligation and history shared. His love for Michonne is all encompassing. Exactly, Raspberry. So the show, I started back the show there. Rosita and Spencer were leaving, but I think the Saviors just showed up. Oh, he's coming up with a bat and stupid lines. So it's playing, guys. So he's at the gates with his dumb line. It's so cringy. Laurie was doing 50 Shades of Grey in her mind for Shane. Raspberry said, that's hilarious. Rick is only nice because Michonne wants him to be. I see it, especially with her giving the noodles away and him side-eyeing her. Yes, Raspberry. And remember when they were talking on the porch and he was like, she's like, we're in here together. Like he wanted to dismiss the Alexandrians right before Deanna came up to give Michonne the plans for Alexandria. Michonne was like, really, Rick? Really? He was like, yeah, to heck with them. Rick just showed up to the gate.
Do not make me have to ask.
Ugh, cannot stand him. Look at Rick's eyes. Oh my gosh. He is completely demoralized. I like the word Cam J gave us. Let me pause it for a second because Rashida said something interesting. Rashida said the Walking Dead comic book universe, Robert Kirkman said Rick and Laurie were supposed to get a divorce in the comics. Really? See? And when people are like, oh, if Laurie was alive, Rick would have never gone with Michonne. Hello? Denise Huth, the executive producer from the very beginning with Darabont from season 1, episode 1 pilot, said Rick, if Laurie was alive, Rick would have still gotten with Michonne. And she said, because she said their relationship had ended and they would have divorced, and not on top of that, what Rick felt for Michonne, he couldn't keep denying it. And I'm not for divorce. I'm if in essence, I'm for leaving someone. If they're putting your life in danger or misery, leave them. But that doesn't mean, you run and hook up with somebody else just because you're whatever. If the person gets with somebody else, then that bond, that contract is over. Divorce, they're behind. But the thing about it is, so I'm not an advocate for divorce, like, oh, if everything, just leave, divorce, whatever. I'm not for that. But Laurie had already cleaved to Shane. Laurie had united her body and soul with Shane. So the contract with her and Rick was over. There is no more marriage. And so, yeah, I would have rooted for Rick and Michonne still, even if Lori was alive, because she divorced Rick in body and soul. That contract, that marriage contract is broken. The moment she slept with Shane, it's done. Rick forgave her. Rick said he forgave her, but his forgiveness was thrown in his face. His forgiveness was thrown in his face so he realized, yeah, that it's over. He, that soul bond, that marriage covenant was done. The day she chose to be upset with Rick because Rick didn't let Shane kill him and Rick killed Shane instead. It's done. It's over. So Denise Huth was right. And now Rashida is saying Kurtman said they would have gotten divorced if Lori had survived. Oh, they were supposed to get a divorce. Whatever. Whichever way it went. But yeah, Sherry said she's not in his face constantly telling him what to do, who to fight, how to fight, or feel, and so on. Exactly, Sherry. Michonne is not belittling Rick in front of people like Laura would have done. Yep. That's the difference between Laura and Michonne. Laurie would judge his choices and doubt him, but Michonne would always try to understand his point of view and respect whatever choice he makes. Yeah. Yes, with every fiber of his being, Rick loves Michonne. It's a soulmate type of love. Like they'll find each other again no matter where they are. Yep. And if she's not there, he's gonna dream. He's gonna make sure she's there. It's like Rick. Oh, whenever we see Rick's dream, Michonne is in it. The last episode we did, his dream, his dream for the future, his heart's desire, his hopes for the future, and his literal REM dream. Well, he wasn't sleeping, but his literal dream, vision in his mind had him being married to Michonne. Had him having a future with Michonne as his wife. So in his mind, the few glimpses we get of Rick in Rick's mind in the latter part of The Walking Dead, which is rare, which is sad and stupid because he's a protagonist. The few times we get access to Rick's mind, there's Michonne as his wife. So we knew how he thought of her. So it's for him, that's it. She's tethered to him for life. That's it. She cannot escape him. And Andrew Lincoln is such a great actor that you believe Rick Love is agape type. Yes, I love the agape. Yes, Sherry's using some nice words here. Agape type of love for Michonne. Don't forget to hit the thank you so much, Nor. Heartbreak can kill. Yep. A lot of people settle what they believe is the best they can get, but they don't know true and real love, and nothing can compare to that. Exactly, Raspberry. It's that or nothing. It's not worth settling because it's not real. It's not love. A selfish love is not real love, and not many people know real love. You have to understand what real love is so that when you see it, you can know it and do not settle for anything but it. But you cannot expect it if you don't give it. And sometimes you give it and it's not reciprocated. So, but it's not, even if it's not reciprocated, if you're going to love, it has to be, it's selfless and sacrificial. So it's not for the timid. I'm tired of Auntie Denai being shackled by The Walking Dead. I want to see their chemistry flourish beyond this brand. Yeah. I love it because it gave them to us, and I love what they created in The Ones Who Live. I would like them to create something else too. Yeah. Yeah. Because the Walking Dead fandom doesn't appreciate them enough. So I don't mind them moving on. And I don't want them to sully it. The executives. And because they want to move on, I fear that they may kill one or the other to move on. So that the fans stop asking. And the person that would Andy would make sure it's Rick. He wouldn't want Michonne to go, so he would make sure it's Rick. And that's how Andy is, so that's why I'm afraid for them to do it. But even if I'm afraid for them to do season 2. But if they do it, I'll be there with bells and whistles on, going, yeah, when's the next episode? But still, being in a little fear, tense, that he may pull the trigger. So Cam J said, I'm telling you, then an Adam's Rib remake would be gold. Adam's Rib. Why does it sound familiar to me? I think I know. Is it Betty Davis, Cam J? Now you're going to make me look up Adam's Rib to see what the synopsis is. Sherry said, I viewed Cold Water this past week. It was okay, not really a fan. Would have been better with Michonne. Really? If you're not a fan of it, why would it be better with Michonne? Because if the characters aren't charactering, if they're, you don't want Michonne to be in a, semi, like a not too good project. Well, I don't know. Explain yourself, Sherry. Norris says the look on Rick's face here in this scene is deadly. He almost Ricks it all, but again, he always puts his people first before him. Now, that's a truly exactly. Rick is sacrificing himself. Negan's lies are cringy, but those Shane bros, it's because they're immature incels. I can't with the Negan immature incels. Imagine a thriller rom-com with Andy working a desk job at the CIA, compiling info, but he gets too deep, and Michonne is his wife, a smart housewife, ex-lawyer, and they work to clear their name. I would prefer them not be a husband and wife team yet. That would be cool, but I like to see the falling in love process. So that's why I wouldn't want them to be married yet. So, but sounds good, Raspberry. Ditto. Negan is over the top. And it's not over. You can be over the top and just really good and entertaining. This over the top is cringy. It's not, to me, it's not entertaining. A lot of people said they left once Negan came on, but in truth, once he did the lineup and killed Abraham and Glenn, it was a wrap. Once again, Robert Kirkman chickened out on a good storyline. Negan's character is so exhausting with the leaning back and forth, and the word fluff was so nerve-wracking anxiety because it's not entertaining. It's like you're like, what am I watching? It's so ridiculous. Look at him beating the what do you call it? The walker. Oh, there's Daryl. Daryl looks like death warmed over. He looks so awful. Look at Rick's face. Rick is anguished seeing Daryl like that. He's furious. Raspberry said, even said the idiot podcaster stopped watching The Walking Dead after the lineup. killing little boys, abusing other men's wives, taking stuff from weaker people, burning his own men's face to break them. How can someone support that? And they say Rick is like him. Yeah, ridiculous. Negan is like a character for me, a clown who relies on a costume, the bat, the leather jacket, the immature humor. He's one-dimensional, and I don't get why he has fans. I get why he has fans because they're immature people. In an immature, I'm using immature too much. It's not even immaturity. They're people that just incels. I think incels are the correct. They're just, they love glorified violence. They love people. They love to see other people suffer. There are a lot of people like that in our world. They're just really degenerate, bad people, and they worship bad people that do bad things and get away with it. So that's why they love Negan, and that's why we see some people, hail absolute evil, an evil that's oppressing people, and they love that, and because that's who they are, that's the hate they have inside of them. That's the reality. People love to say and think people are, a lot of people are good, but look at the world. Look at the Epstein files. Look at who people esteem, the people that people esteem, even knowing what they've done. People, they're people with dark hearts. So that's why I want Dana and Andy to sort of move on, because when I said I want them to move on too, because the execs won't let this character go. And this character is not someone to aspire to. And yet they're trying to put him as aspirational because they're trying to cater to those dark souls. Oh my gosh. I don't want Michonne to be committing adultery. So no Adam's ribs. No, 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 no. That's not true love. That's not true love. Katharine Hepburn and her lover, the one that's married. No, 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 no. Adam's rib. No. Says Katharine Hepburn as Spencer Tracy. Spencer Tracy. Yes, I am a hopeless romantic, Cam J. Yes, I want to see them fall in love. Nor said, me too. I don't want them married yet. I want to see the jealousy. Yes, all of that. I want to see the yearning. Oh, that'd be so cute too. Love good enemies to lovers, or mean them lovers, or mean them love storyline. Rick being mean to Michelle. No, no, Rick being mean. Why do you guys love torture? Rick being mean to Michelle and then paying too much attention to her is what? No, raspberry. I mean, and you guys, I want to write something with you, and you're telling me that you want my characters to suffer like this. Hi, Christina. It's not Cam J. So what the synopsis that Rashida gave me seems like it's about that. What is it about? Tell me about it, Cam J. Why is Dwight throwing out is he gonna he why is he throwing out her water? He knows she has oh, he threw her water away so she won't stay out too long. He's such a meanie. See, Nora says she loves cold water. Sherry says maybe not cold water. I'm on board with seeing them together. So Sherry wasn't too impressed with cold water, Nor. Well, Michonne sees something, so she's gonna shoot. Oh, this is the one where she kept missing. She was too angry. She's too angry. Stop wasting bullets, Michonne. Cam J said, Rashida, I don't think we're speaking about the same movie. Catherine is the defense attorney and Spencer, the spouse, is the DA. So they're married. What? Rashida. Rashida came up with a completely different story, scenario, Cam J. Raspberry said, not mean in a harsh way, just like he's annoyed with her, making him feel things he's buried for so long. But he craves her. Well, we got that in The Walking Dead. Remember how he kept bristling around her because he was feeling things. He was feeling that he was very extra. And, you know, so, ooh, wow. Michonne chopped his head in half and we saw his brain. I didn't expect to see that. So Rick was giving Rick was very extra with Michonne. And it's because he was feeling things. He was so attracted to her. But he wasn't his right frame of mind. You know, he was supposed to be mourning and in mourning. Plus, he had a psychosis, but his body was telling him things. So we got that in The Walking Dead in the beginning with them. Rashida said, that's the movie I'm talking about, Cam J. But Cam J said they're married, Rashida. You're saying they're not, and somebody's having an affair on somebody. Diane says she's also not good with a rifle. She's practicing. Yeah. But we saw her when she shot up the sanctuary. She was good with a rifle then. So I think it's more that she's so angry, she's vibrating. She can't shoot straight. Raspberry said Rick was so cut and dry with her, asking Herschel when she's able to travel, but then he'd watch her with his binocular while she's at the bus. The thing is about it, Rick kept saying she had to leave. When Rick wants someone to leave, what happens? You see, he took them himself and dropped them off miles and miles away from Alexandria. No, from the prison. They weren't at Alexandria. When Rick wants someone to leave, they're gone. Rick kept saying he want Michonne to leave, and there was Michonne. And when Michonne was out of sight, he was angry with her. Where were you? You see what I'm saying? Okay. Cam J says a courtroom rivalry finds its way into the household when prosecuting lawyer Adam Bonner, Spencer Tracy, faces off against his wife Amanda, who happens to be a defense. Oh, see, they're married, Rashida. Rashida said, no, I was talking about Spencer Tracy in real life, but I forgot his name. Oh, no, we're not talking about real life. Rashida, we're talking about movies or TV show. We're talking. No. Nor says I loved it because Andy wasn't Rick at all, and that takes great acting skills. He was completely different and cute. Little helpless man. I love this weak side of Andy. For when are you talking this episode, Nor? Cute little helpless man. He's just, I wouldn't say helpless. He's just defeated, and it's him submitting. He's intentionally submitting. That's not weakness. That's strength. Absolute strength. I'll say that Gabriel lied that Maggie is dead and buried. Poor Daryl probably think it's true. Look, Daryl's clothes is filthy. Cold water, Sherry says cold water in my opinion is too slow paced. And if it wasn't for Andrew, I think that's what you meant, Sherry. If it wasn't for Andrew, who in my opinion carried the show, I would have not finished watching season 1. Oh, it's coming back for more seasons? Oh, in cold water. Okay. Rashida said, no, Nor said in cold water. Okay. Sherry says you're right, Nor. Andy was a totally different correct character. Okay. Oh, Rashida said he comes off as a wheat man in cold water. Okay. Well, I don't think I'll enjoy that. I don't like to see. Mm, I get it, Nor. I finally got it. Diane says the way she heard that gun at the outpost, I wouldn't say she was good with it. The only kill I saw her make was with her katana. Michonne, Diane say you suck at shooting. Nor, unfortunately, I will not be able to watch Cold Water because it is on Paramount Plus. But Andrew has a great range as an actor. Oh, that's where it is? Yeah, I'm not getting Paramount for sure. Mm-mm. And I don't think I want to see him play a weak little man. Nah, that's not my cup of tea. Rashida said, look how to save years are just taking merchandise in the zombie apocalypse. What are you saying, Rashida? Weak or damaged and depressed? Depressed man? Oh, weak or damaged and depressed man. Oh, okay. Cam J is asking Nor, what did he play? Weak or damaged and depressed? Rick is terrified. He thought, oh gosh, Carl and the gun made him remember about the guns. He would have taken the guns anyway. Nor said he was the weakest man, but that's my man. I love him anyway. Razzer said it's so crazy how someone's character can make you find them attractive. I thought Rick was hot after he killed those guys in the bar in season 2, episode 8, Nebraska, but in Cold Water, I was like, nah. Oh yeah, he was so hot in Nebraska. But character matters because you know why? You know why, Raspberry? Because you're deep. You're not shallow. You're not just looking on the exterior. So the character matters. It makes someone attractive. Rick's persona, the person he is, makes him attractive. Negan is so unattractive to me. He's because of who his character sucks. Saviors are taking everything in Alexandria. Yep. Oh, Cam J loves complex characters. So yeah, you might enjoy him. It seems you might enjoy him in that show, Cam J. If it ever leaves Paramount, maybe you can see it.
slim pickings.
Why does he stand like that? He's so he's so ridiculous. Negan, Cam J says she loves complex characters, and Negan is not complex. No, he's not. But they tried to make him one in later episodes. Yeah, they were trying to redeem this man because they wanted him to be the lead. They wanted him to be the anti-hero. They wanted him to carry The Walking Dead, and it will never happen. Sorry. Look at Rick's face.
What can I say? You forced my hand, Rick. It's like I've been trying to tell you. I'm a very reasonable man as long as you cooperate. So let me ask you a question, Rick. Are you cooperating? Oh, I know what it looks like. But what I really want to know is if we're going to find all the guns back there, or maybe you got it.
He's talking too close to Rick. Step back. Oh my gosh. He's like up in his face. Ugh, gross. Raspberry said, yeah, Rick is so hot to me because of his character. While I despise Negan, even though his actor is considered conventionally attractive, I don't find Daryl attractive for the same reason. Don't let the fangirls hear you. They love them some Daryl. Nora said, I felt attracted to Rick the moment I saw him in the cop uniform in that police car eating fries. Oh my gosh, Nora, I did not find Rick attractive then. He was so skinny. Look at me, I'm skinny. But he looked too, he wasn't doing it for me. He glowed up. Nebraska glowed Rick up. I liked him and I rooted for him, but I wasn't attracted. The later season, I found him hella attractive. That's true, Cam J. Weak does not equal complex. That's true. You too, Nor. You saw it in Nebraska. Nor said those eyes got me at little girl. I'm a policeman. Oh my gosh. Nor will take Rick in any form. Cam J says examples of complex characters are Walter White in Breaking Bad and Kim in Better Call Saul. Do you know I've not watched either shows? I've not watched either show, so I wouldn't know if they're complex, Cam J. What? Rashida, I'm not going to repeat that. That's disgusting. So that's where they got the claimers from. So they adapted the claimers when it was really Negan. That's disgusting. Oh my gosh. Oh, you make me hate it. So you see the type of writing that comes from Kirkman for the comics. Oh, that's disgusting. Wow.
Am I right?
No. I mean, yes. The inventory is correct.
Good. But not so good, too. You see, what's in here isn't in there. You're 2 handguns short. Do you know where they are?
No,
Oh, that's when what's his name stole them. It's that Spencer. Oh,
It's someone's not on board. And I can't handle it. I don't enjoy killing women. Men, I can waste them all to live long. But at the end of the day, Olivia, my dear, this was your responsibility. We can work this out. Oh, yes, we can. And I'm going to. Right now. This was your job. And you screwed up. Keeping track of guns? That shit is life and death.
mm.
Not about hiding.
Yeah, I agree. Hard no. Hard no. Nigga, and yeah. Well, we always knew this character, that character is filth. And for AMC execs to keep pushing for people to for him to carry the show and to continue in the show and be one of the leads for the show, such a filthy character. It just I can't reconcile it. Yeah, his writing was offensive and immature. I agree. He said there's no way out of this.
Let me put this to all of you as clearly as I can. Anymore. Negan is.
Eugene says not everyone is here. Hmm. He had to get it through to them, Nora, that he's not in charge, because they still think that they can rebel and retaliate, and they're just not there. They don't have the numbers. He doesn't see the possibility, so he doesn't want anyone else to die. I agree, Raspberry, about what certain person would would probably prefer Cartman to be writing for the show. I agree. Yes, MH. Yeah, because they need a name. They need a star. But the thing is, they refuse to accept and retain the fact that people do not want this guy. When I say people, that the people who are fans are niche. It's very niche. That they cannot get a large audience to want to watch this character. Liking the actor is one thing, but the character is a no-go. And how can you have this character be the character that carries the show? A show where you want to see humanity overcome this situation. You need a hero. You don't, and he's not an anti-hero. They're trying to make him into a complex anti. He's not. Too blatant, Raspberry. Can't stand it. Oh, Gabriel is saying that things change. That they'll beat this eventually.
Wasn't always that way. Where's Michelle? Could she possibly have?
She doesn't have anything they're looking for. What she did with the Graves.
Do you see how quick Rick defended Michonne? Could Michonne? She doesn't have anything they're looking for. He's like, shut up. Don't even talk about my girl. Don't try to put anything on my girl. Yeah. Negan only brings in a niche audience. Yeah. They want Rick. It's Rick or bust. So I don't know why AMC doesn't give up. No matter what they try, it's just not going to work. It's diminishing returns. And it's a very expensive show. Making TV, making movies is very expensive. I've been trying. I've written TV shows. I was working with a CAA agent to format a pilot for a CBS show. So It's hard. It's really hard. It takes a lot of money. Producing stuff is tough. It takes a lot of time. And if you're one of the 1% or less than 1%, 0.01% who can get funding to get your stuff produced, whether independently or in the industry, it's so rare and it's so hard. So I don't know why they're throwing away so much good money for such diminishing returns. It makes no sense to me, unless it's like what we're seeing in our world today, where people will push certain figures because that's the way they want to see the world, and they identify with certain things and certain characters and certain people, so they will push that agenda. That's the only thing I can think of why they're so behind this character. Raspberry begging, and they can say, nope, don't wanna be with you. Nor, you said keep my wife's name out of your mouth. I know you meant mouth, but that's funny. Cam J said, although Rick feels defeated, the line, I'm not in charge anymore, Negan is, was said with such authority. Yes, because he needs to get these people to believe him. And they do rely on him. They do respect Rick. And Rick knows that. And as a leader, he has to convince them this is the way it is. Because as I said, everybody's thinking, oh yeah, we're going to resist this. And he is like, you better listen to me. So he was very authoritative in that, because he needed them to hear him, to get to understand the situation and act accordingly. So you're right, Cam J, about that. Yep. Keep my wife's neck out of your mouth. Your smelly mouth. There she is. He sees her. Oh my gosh, look at Rick is gonna beg.
Give me a second.
He begged so that he could go to Michonne. Look at him running. Oh, poor baby. Oh, she sees the bat. Look at her face. She's so cute. She's so upset, but she's so cute. He's crying. Do you guys see that? He's crying. Mm-hmm. I didn't like that they had Michonne carrying the deer on her shoulder out there. She brought it in, leave it there. I don't like to see her doing that because they're trying to go with the strong black woman trope because they wouldn't have Carol or Maggie doing that. So I didn't like this scene at all. I love the scene with Rick and Michonne in the whatever, house wherever they were talking. But man, this scene with Michonne carrying the deer and then this man making that disgusting statement about her putting out or some foolishness like that, I found it so offensive. I cannot stand this character. I cannot stand the writing, and I cannot stand uh, poor Daryl. Why did they do Daryl like that? They were just trying too hard to humiliate them. I don't. It's you don't have to. And to keep this going for 2 seasons, can you imagine? Who want? That's not entertaining. Got Rick. Oh my goodness. Rick is so upset seeing Michonne that upset. Rick wants to cry. Oh, he's gonna ask for Daryl. Exactly. They don't. They don't, Rashida. Rick is barely keeping it in. Doesn't he know what character he's playing, MH? Yes, Raspberry. They did. They painted Michonne in a masculine light while emasculating Rick. And she's so tiny. She's so tiny and she's so feminine. They tried. That's why I hate it. They didn't manage to make her look masculine, but they were trying, and she looked. I hated it because of what they, how the writers tend to write her, and how they view her, and yet she's the tiniest, softest little thing. Oh, you go. You go ahead. People were asking me if I wanted to charge next. I forgot I'm sitting in front of the chargers. Oh, here's Spencer with his slick tongue. Oh, he found the food and the liquor. I forgot.
Weak.
He's small and he's
You
weak.
got lucky with the walls. You got lucky with us.
We should have made a deal with them when we could have. Oh yeah, we're so lucky. You led us all to the promised land, isn't that right, Rick? Here we are. I guess Glenn and Abraham were lucky too.
You say anything like that again to me, I'll break your jaw, knock your teeth out. You understand? Say yes.
Yes.
Good, Rick. You know, as Rick said, Spencer is weak. A character like that, I don't enjoy watching. So, no. How could she be with such a man? I find him so unattractive because of how he is. Oh, this is Rick and Michonne scene. And And I hated seeing that. There's no bed and he's making up the bed for them. Mm. Take your boots off, Rick.
They took our mattresses. Most of them.
That rifle was one of theirs from the outpost. They didn't have a list. Could have hit more.
Did you?
She said, hold on. She said it wasn't their rifles. It was from the outpost, so they wouldn't know that it was missing. Because she was like, why would you take it? You know, we could have hidden that. I could have kept that and we could have hidden more. And he was like, did you? Did you hide more? And she was shocked he was asking her that. Oh.
No.
They did, MH. I do.
Everything we have, we got from fighting.
I made the
I heard Denai say that, but I didn't know. I think she said it perm. They permed his hair to get it curly like that. So I don't know what the truth is, curlers, perms, but I guess that's not the natural state of his hair, which is interesting. I think so. I agree with you, Raspberry. That's why Denai spoke so for Michonne. She was so. She gave Michonne a very soft tone, soft speaking voice. And I think for that reason, Raspberry, because she knows the stereotype. Yeah. So I agree with you. So let's hear what Rick says to Michonne.
Everything we have, we got from fighting.
I made the choice. There aren't enough of us. It's about numbers.
There's the hilltop.
They still have the numbers. We play by their rules, and we get some kind of life.
What kind of a life?
I had a friend. I don't talk about him. He was my partner. He got Lori and Carl to save all stuff.
I have to turn it down because the music started. He's talking about Shane and Lori. The love and admiration Michonne has for Rick after Rick being vulnerable and telling her about Lori and Shane and Judith and how he had to accept her to just to keep her alive, even knowing she's not his. He kept saying she's not mine, but I had to accept it. You know, he couldn't carry the resentment and the anger and keep her alive, so he had to accept it. And she saw how, I think she saw Rick's strength in that, you know? It takes a lot of strength to sacrifice your pride, to sacrifice what you feel, any injustice or, you know, to you know, to not get payback or justice for ill treatment, but he had to accept it. He had to let go of that to do right by Judith. You know, so the love and admiration that Michonne must feel for Rick in this, seeing how much what he'll do for her, it's amazing. I can, and that's why she put aside again how she feels. Like she still feels fighting is the right thing, but she put aside to support him now because of her, you know, of her love and admiration. You can go ahead. You can go ahead. Yeah, whoever came first. Yeah, you can go ahead. So that was amazing. Oh, I told him to go ahead. I should have gone ahead, guys. Paused it, gone ahead and start charging and continue because we're almost finished the episode and I'm not going to get a charger. Well, the next one that's empty, I'm going to take it. Okay, let's finish this up. 3 minutes and 27 minutes. Let's finish it up and we'll discuss. And if a charger goes free, I can get it. So she goes and she helps him finish making the bed. And he was making the bed for her, for them. Because he could have just left it. She said she's going to try. He could have just left it and when it's bedtime, but you know, he's trying to help her come to terms and accept it. Oh, she's back out in the field. Is she still? Oh, she doesn't have the gun. I was going to say she's going to do more practice, but there's no gun. Ooh, there's the head again. Ooh, the brain. Gross, gross, gross. What do you see, Michonne? Oh, she sees the smoke. And there it is. She sees that they didn't even take the beds. They burnt it. They burnt them. She's furious. She's furious. And she has a right to be. Oh, she's gonna ask Eugene to make her a bullet. Oh, the episode is over, finally. I didn't enjoy that one that much. I loved the Rick and Michonne scenes because it further solidifies and it shows us how much they love each other, and even in the hardest of situations they're thinking about each other, because everything in Michonne is saying go the opposite way of what Rick is doing, but she loves him and respects him, and she doesn't want to burden him anymore. You know, she doesn't want to. It's hard enough. She knows how difficult it is, and she doesn't want to add to his dilemma. It's hard. It's hard being a leader. Everyone wants to be a leader, but it's very difficult. A good leader, you know, it's very easy to be a bad leader because you can just follow your instincts and be selfish, but it's very hard to be a good leader that looks out for others, because it demands a lot of sacrifice. It demands the leader putting themselves last, and that doesn't come naturally to us. So let me see what you guys have been saying. Let me put that away. Yeah, you see, Rosita is just thinking about herself. Her pain, her anger is more important than other people's lives. And for Rick, as a good leader, his pain, his anger doesn't matter, because it's about keeping everyone alive. So you see, it demands selflessness. And it's what he was telling Michonne. Judith isn't his, but he had to let go of the pain and the anger so that he could care for her and love her. He had to let it go. He had to let go of the anger. He had to let go of his hurt and his justified feelings. He had to let it go, or he couldn't be there for that little girl in the true way that he has been there for her. So why is everyone coming now? It's so busy now. Well, the next one I'm taking, I'm enough freebies. Next one is mine. So yeah, guys, it's just selfishness. Her pain, her anger matters. No one else's life matters. Just her pain and her anger. Yes, Raspberry, you know, please, even they're getting together. They didn't talk about being together when they got together. You know, so what kind of show does that? A show who has writers that are biased, unfortunately. Chips on my mouth. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like eating on live, but I'm so hungry. I didn't eat any lunch today. And I usually try to eat before I do the live so that I'm not chewing in front of you. It's so gross sometimes and noisy. But I when I was supposed to start at 6, I got a phone call, and it's very, transitional. The first transition I'm making is not the last one. So there's a lot going on, and I can't wait to share it with you guys if you're still sticking around with me in the future. So no, nor she wasn't trying to save the world on her own, and Carol doesn't try to save the world on her own. Rosita was just being selfish. She wasn't thinking about the world. Rosita was thinking about Rosita. And Carol doesn't think about other people. Carol thinks about Carol. So she was doing a Carol, but not about saving the world. She was doing a Carol in that they were thinking about themselves. They're very selfish people. Yeah. Cam J said it's anticlimactic. I didn't see that. Where did Cam J say that? Okay, Cam J said that was a beautiful moment. Rick telling Michonne about Judith and explaining acceptance. I wish they ended it here, but no. They had to add that stupid scene between Rosita and Make Me a Bullet, right? Yeah. Because season 6 writing is all about plot points. That's what it is. That deep, organic, character-driven storytelling no longer existed in The Walking Dead. Oh, thank you, Sherry. And thank you for that kind saying about my analysis. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't even think about that raspberry, that Michonne was also betrayed by an ex. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it was hard for him to say Nor that she's not his daughter. That's true. The more the side characters started taking up more airtime, the less invested. Yeah, they're trying to make it more of an ensemble show because they knew that Andy would leave soon. So they were trying to get us less invested in Rick. Never happened. Never happened. Sorry. Yep. Rosita got Olivia and Sasha killed. Yeah, she wasn't thinking about anyone but herself. Yay. I'm gonna go get a thing. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get a what do you call it? A charger. Okay. Keep talking. I'm going to take you guys with me while I get... Oh, why did I do that? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, hold on, guys. I can't get... Guys, guess what? Guys, guess what? I can't get the phone to come out so I can use my app to charge the car. So I have to go. I have to go. So it was great chatting with you guys. I hope to... Next week, Friday, we'll do another one and we will discuss this episode more. I'm so sorry I have to leave early, but I can't get the chat to... I can't get the streaming to get itself small so I can get to the app to charge. So I have to go. Bye, guys. Love you. See you soon. Thank you for coming.